What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my review on Fast and Furious 10. So, I just got done watching Fast and Furious 10, and, or is, I believe the title is Fast 10. Um, yeah, this movie, man, I was, I didn't like it. Okay, I'm just gonna say it flat out. I didn't like it. As this is my first, these are my first thoughts. My thoughts may change, but I did not like it at all. Fast and Furious 9, so you know how I felt about that. I didn't like that one either. I think it took the nonsense to like a level that was just too stupid, right? And I feel like this movie was really following more in that one's footsteps rather than following in the footsteps of some of the better movies, in my opinion, like Fast 8. I love Fast 8 is my Fast and Fate of the Furious, Fast 8, whatever you want to call it, is my favorite movie in the franchise. Um, I think that's like the perfect level of like stupid and like craziness, but also like coolness and like the story it just fit for me, for me personally. But I've really liked the franchise ever since The Rock came into it, and then I fell off when Fast 9 came out. So I was hoping that this movie would go back more to like Fast 8, Fast 7, Fast and Furious 6 type stuff, but it really just, oh my gosh. I really wanted to like this movie. For the first 30 minutes, I was into it, but there's just so many problems. There's so many problems. And I realized they're trying to do Infinity War. They're trying to do Infinity War with this movie. They think they're Infinity War. They think that their franchise is on the level of the Avengers. That's that's um that's a situation. Um this is not like they're really trying to do Infinity War. The way that it's all this movie is disjointed. You know how Infinity War, all the Avengers they were separate. They were all trying to fight Thanos, but they were on like their different missions because of their circumstances where they were at. They just weren't together because of the events of Civil War. So it made sense why they were like kind of divided up and none of them were able to defeat Thanos because the Avengers weren't all together at once. We didn't see that until Endgame, you know. So so that's why it reminds me of the Infinity War. Except Infinity War, even though they were all over the place, you know, you had the Guardians doing their thing. You had Cap and Black Panther and the people on Earth, and you had you know, Peter and Tony and them up in space on Titan and fighting, and then they met up with the Guardians. You had all that, but it still felt cohesive because it was done well and it made sense. This movie feels like a hot mess. It's way too much going on. Like when I was watching this movie, I couldn't figure out. At a certain point, my brain just gave up on trying to remember everything that's going on. Like the stuff with Cypher and Letty, the stuff with John Cena and the kid, the stuff with Dom's and like having his own solo movie over here somewhere doing something else, and the stuff with Roman and the rest of them. I don't, bro. It was too much. The stuff with the new Mister Nobody guy, it was too much, bro. Too much all over the place. Um, and also another thing, like I said, another reason that this isn't working for me, big reason actually, the villain. Jason Momoa is not he's not it, bro. He's not it. I'm sorry. He I would have liked it more if he did like Aquaman, but like eviler, you know. this is just kind of like it's almost like the director asks him to like, "Hey Jason, I want you to do your take on Heath Ledger's Joker. Just do your own take on it, but kind of do it, but just your own version of it. Do like your own version of Heath Ledger Joker." That's what it feels like, honestly. That's honestly what it feels like. Um, and at times it's too much. There are slight moments where I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool to what they're trying to do with him, but overall, it was just not it. it was, it was, he was doing way too much. He was the way that, like, I didn't know what the hell was going on with his character, dude. Like, I don't know. It was so out of place. It was so odd. And it's like the fact that because they're obviously they're trying to do like an Infinity War situation, like how the movie ends on like this cliffhanger where it seems like all these characters are dead. Like they're trying to do their this is their Infinity. They honestly they're trying to do Infinity War. They're blatantly trying to copy Infinity War, but the thing is they're not doing it good. Another thing that Infinity War had that they don't have is a awesome villain. Thanos was great. He was menacing. He was the best villain in the MCU so far. The most threatening and intimidating villain. Jason Momoa, he's just not on that level. Like, we've seen other villains that were better than him. Like, that were more. I don't know. The only thing. I mean, it is cool how he, even though it doesn't make any sense to me, how he could have planned all these things, because some of it doesn't. But it's cool how he's like, "Oh, I planned for this. You didn't think I would know how to do." Like every time something happens, he's like, "Ha, I knew you were gonna do that." And then cars blow up and there's bombs on the cars and stuff. I mean, he's all right, but is he like and like, like, is he a villain big enough for like where they're trying to go with this story? He's definitely not. He's too weird, and he's just not intimidating enough. He's not even a physical threat for Dom. He got whooped. Like he's not even. He's he's just like doing this Heath Ledger Joker thing. But again, the reason the Joker works is because he challenges the main characters in different ways than physically. He challenged Batman morally rather than physically. He didn't really challenge Dom, and then like all he really kept saying is like, "I'm gonna destroy your family," and then like he like killed like one dude who nobody ever seen before, right, in the car or whatever, and it's like, and that's another thing they try to do that cheap stuff to like build like tension or something, but it's really just not there because you didn't really know that character. You didn't know that character at all because they don't want to freak. They don't want to they want to have their cake and eat it too. They don't want to actually deal with the consequences of killing off a main character, which they could do because they nobody really dies. Like nobody really dies in the Fast and Furious. Gal Gadot comes back. I don't even remember what's Giselle. Is that her name? Giselle. She comes back at the end of the movie, dude. I don't even remember how she died. Didn't she like fall out of a hell out of like a plane or something? I don't forgot. This movie was just it was a mess. It was a complete mess in my opinion. It was too much nonsense all over the place. And as much as I hate Fast and Furious 9, like I really disliked it because I felt like since Fast 5 where it started really getting like more and more crazy, that's where it really started getting kind of crazier and crazier and crazier. It started elevating like that. I felt like it was. it was cool, it was good, but then they started trying to become the meme. Like just because the internet makes memes about you and we think it's funny doesn't mean you're supposed to become that. Like, and in Fast 9 they decided let's be a meme and they actually, not just the space thing, but just the whole movie was just outlandishly stupid. Like where there's no like, there has to be some tether to reality is what I'm saying, which there used to be, but now it's just, I keep doing that face. I keep making that face like because that's that's how, when I think about things in this movie, that's what it makes me do. Like I'm not trying to be like that, but it's just, this is how I feel. Like this face right here, that's how I feel when I think about this movie, dude. Um Wait, that's another thing. They introduce way too many characters alongside all this craziness that's going on. Like my brain doesn't like, it either doesn't care or just can't process all this BS mixed with all the stupidity. It's just too much. It's too much going on. It's the story, like just a villain just being like, I'm gonna break your family down. It's just not enough anymore. It's not enough anymore because people have been saying, villains in the Fast and Furious have been saying that for years. For years they've been saying the same thing for movies upon movies, right? And it's never happened. They usually kill off like maybe one character, and they don't even really do that. You know why? Because they come back. Hence Giselle at the end of this movie. Uh, the fact that they're really, like, that's what's bothering me is the fact that they really think that they're doing like some amazing like Infinity War level story with this nonsense that I'm looking at. Like they really think that they're doing something amazing here. And I would love for it to turn out great. I would love that. Like I, but this movie is, I don't know. It makes me like, I just don't care. The villain is not good enough for me to care about. It's just another dude. Matter of fact, he's weird. He's just weird. I've never like. I hope this doesn't set like some kind of standard for villain. I hope people, because I don't know, maybe people will find it cool or something. Maybe some people will find it like cool the way that he was like so weird. I don't know. I didn't find it. There was a slight charm to it at moments. There was a slight charm to Jason Momoa's character at moments, but like I'd say 85% of the time it was like, dude, what is going on? It was like, what is going on? He's just I can't believe they thought that this was like the great big villain to end the Fast and Furious franchise on, because he's got to be the villain of the next movie unless they do some crazy, unless people don't like him. I don't know how people are gonna respond. I don't know if people are gonna be like, "Oh, this dude's this sucks." I doubt they're gonna be that like that. I think average viewers are just gonna be like, "Yeah, it's okay." But let's say that that did happen. I think people would maybe they would bait and switch and like kill him off at the beginning of like the next movie and switch him with somebody else. Maybe I could see the original Mr. Nobody being like the big villain or something. That would be, because it'd be like, what happened to him? He's got to be like a villain or something. He's the one pulling all the strings. He was the villain all along. He planned it all from the beginning. Ex- if you liked Fast 9, if you liked Fast 9, you will probably like this movie. You will probably like this movie. But even like Fast 9, because I hated Fast 9 at first, but I went back and rewatched it, and I could kind of appreciate, even though it was just so stupid, I could kind of appreciate it and like laugh at some of the stuff, and also at least appreciate the spectacle, the visual, like all the cars. Like, oh, how did they film this? This is so cool. All the cars, like magnets and stuff flying through, like the magnetic cars flying through the buildings and stuff like that. The time when that giant truck flipped over, that was awesome. And then it went off the cliff, and then Dom had to run through it. The car going into space, like I can appreciate like just how awesome these things look and the effort to film it, how cool it is, even though it's stupid. But the stupid stuff in this movie are just stupid. It's not even that cool. Like Dom flips a car with one arm. It's like, hey yo, I'm done with this. I can't even. I don't even think I could keep doing this review because like I keep just stopping and face palming in the middle of the review because it hurts my brain, and it's just sad. Like that's the main thing. Like that's my main thing. It's sad. Like I wanted this movie to be good. I knew when the trailers came out. Usually when I get worried about the trailers, I'm right. I usually am. Well, look, I hope you guys enjoyed this review because I didn't. Um Let me know down below how you feel about it. I just honestly feel like it was too much, way too much. It reminds me of my I had similar issues with the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie. That's what it reminds me of. Where but it wasn't like the whole movie. It was just the fight scenes in that movie, the big fight sequences towards the middle and end of that movie. It would skip around between like five different fights, and you wouldn't be able to know what was going on because it would just jump between five fights, and then you would forget what's happening with this fight because you would go to the other four fights, and then once you get back to that one, you're like, I forgot this was even happening, dude. That's like this entire movie. That's this entire whole movie. Like I forget what is going on because number one, it makes no sense. Number two, it's not a strong enough part of the story, and number three, we like forget about it for like 20 minutes at a time, and then come back to it. I'm gonna be like, oh, this is happening, and then once I remember that, I forget something else that didn't make any sense either. Like it's just so dumb. They decided to be a parody of themselves in Fast 9, and they're continuing that trend. They decided to be a parody of themselves in Fast 9, and they are continuing that trend. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I can't talk about this anymore, man. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my future videos. And thank you so much for watching my review. And tell me what you think about Fast and Furious 10 in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you think about the franchise because I just want to know what people think about this. For me, is Fast. The first four were like I actually don't even remember them that much, but they were cool movies. 5 to 8 were good, and they were like getting better and better for me. I love Fast 7. Fast 8 is my absolute favorite. Like the story, fantastic. The action, fantastic. the spectacle, like the sequences, the cars, the submarine, excellent, and the stupidity was like it was well placed throughout that. You know, it was well sprinkled, like seasoning. Like you don't put too much salt on things, right? Fast Nine, it was a mess. No, I wouldn't even call It's not even that bad compared to Fast 10. But when it came out, I was like, yo, this they're just becoming the meme. They're like, oh, people think that we're just all about stupid stuff and cars and family, so let's actually just do that because that's just a meme. There was actually more stuff to the Fast and Furious before the memes. You know that, right? But for but for some reason in Fast 9 they said let's actually just lean into that. And it was so stupid and it was so bad and it was awful. And Fast 10 kind of follows that movie more than the other movies, in my opinion. I might do a ranking of the Fast and Furious movies here on the channel. So, actually, I might do that so I can put everything in perspective. Because I can't say exactly right now where I would rank Fast 10, but I know I will rank it below 9. And I did not expect it to be that bad, in my opinion. I honestly did not. I was like, when I went into this movie, I was like, there's no way, there is no way it could be worse than 9. So, what's there to lose, you know? I was excited just because I was like, there's no way it's going to be worse than 9. So, at least I know I'm going to get something better than that. Boy, was I wrong. And it's the fact they're trying to do this big, grand, like, finale, like this big, grand setup for a finale, like this Empire Strikes Back, Infinity War type thing. The fact that they even think that they're on that level of storytelling here is just sad. The fact that they think that they've earned that level of like storytelling throughout, like this is a hot mess, bro. They put together a hot mess of a movie. It's a literally all over the place, and I don't care enough about anything because the story is too weak. It's like at least make the story strong enough that I care to put in the effort to remember all this stupid crap that's going on. But I don't because again, it's too stupid and the story isn't good enough. So it's like, why should I put all this effort in to remember every little thing that you got going on with Letty and Cipher and John Cena and freaking the kid and Dom and Dom's baby mama's sister. Like, dude. Um, yeah. I usually give better reviews than this, but I usually don't cringe this much thinking about a movie. Now, maybe my views on this movie will change like they did on Fast 9. Fast 9 is still pretty bad, but I kind of appreciate some of the epicness, like for some of the epic stuff that they did in that movie. I kind of appreciate it, and I can at least laugh. I rewatched it a couple weeks ago, and I just had a lot of good laughs. Like, you know, this is just wow. They're like, in, so just to recap, they introduced way too many new characters, had way too much going on that was disjointed. Story wasn't strong enough or good enough. Another thing I wanted to mention. This is another thing I forgot to mention. The dude, the other Mr. Nobody, they had this big twist at the end, like, oh, he was bad all along. He was bad since the beginning of the movie, and then like for like 10 minutes he turned good, and it was really weird. He's like, I'm listening now, Dom. Like, what? Just because he like why would your mind change just because I guess Dom started shooting at a guy that you like I thought it was dumb. I thought it was out of place, and I guess it makes sense because he was lying, but still it's like it wasn't. They do like this whole big reveal like he was some big reveal. He was a villain. That would have been better if he was like a good guy on Dom's side, like I got your back, bro, the whole movie, and then at the end do that. That would have been great. But they didn't. This new Mr. Nobody guy was literally against Dom from the start. And then for 10 minutes he was like, I'm listening now, brother. Like it was just so idiotic. It was like, am I supposed to care about this big reveal? Like they had like this whole montage. Like this was Spider-Man Far From Home. Like they had this whole montage like this was a heist movie or something for a reveal that we already knew. Like it was gonna be something cool. It was This movie is so stupid, man. I'm not gonna hold back my opinion. I think people aren't gonna dislike it as much as me. That's what I think. I think people might like this more than me, but for me, this is awful. I can't. It hurts to think about. It's honestly, I dislike it very much. I have to give this like a. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. Kind of want to give it a 3, but I feel like this might be one. I feel like on a rewatch, it might go up a little. I might appreciate things a little bit more once I've accepted the, reality of how bad it is. I can appreciate certain things a little bit more later on. I think that's so. I'm gonna give it a 4 instead of a 3 for now. 4 out of 10. If you're just going to see it with friends, just to see a movie at a theater with friends, then just go. Anything is fun with friends. But if you're expecting like some beautifully told story, or if you're expecting, even if you're expecting like anything on the level of Fast 8 or like Fast 9 in terms of like the stunts and like just crazy moments, like no, you get more fist fights in this movie than you do um crazy car stunts. You honestly do. There's so many fist fights in this movie. So it's almost like they're trying to do John Wick at times. It feels like they're trying. It feels like everybody is a John Wick in this movie. This sucked. I hope I didn't forget to say anything. My brain is just kind of pooped out on this movie at this point. Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about the end credit scene. I mean, spoiler alert: The Rock is back. I don't even like. I'm surprised he's back. I guess they were. I guess he was because he said he was never coming back. I guess he made a men's with Vin Diesel or whatever. I I don't even care that The Rock is back. Like these movies are too stupid even for him. I oh man. Hey yo, I'm done. I'm done. This movie, you know what? You know what? I think this movie might have actually pissed me off. I think it might actually like I'm actually frustrated. The more that I talk about it, I'm frustrated and annoyed and discombobulated the more that I have to talk to you about it. So I'm gonna be out of here, man. Peace out. Thank you so much for watching. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I like it. That's fine. Just tell me what you think in the comments. Your voice will be heard. I read all my comments. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you subscribe and like the video. Tell me what you think. And, stick with your boy. Hit the bell notification if you want to see more videos like this. I do reviews, I do reactions, I talk about movies, I talk about everything that I love. So thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. I appreciate you guys. Even if you don't agree with me, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Peace.